G'day guys, welcome back. I'm doing something that I haven't done for about a year. I'm using Floetrol and paint, no silicone, to create some interesting little effects. So that's the Floetrol there. 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. So I've got 60 grams of Floetrol, which is 2 ounces in each cup. And then I have got 20 grams of paint. So 60 grams of pouring medium, in this case Floetrol, to 20 grams of paint. And I've got Peacock, which is this pale aqua one here. My navy is Deep Space. This one is metallic copper, and then the white is Artist Loft. These two, I did make them a little bit thicker. So these two here have got 60 grams of Floetrol and 20 grams of paint. These two have got 60 grams of Floetrol and 30 grams of paint. So those are 2 to 1, and these are 3 to 1. The Flow Acrylic was a lot thinner than my usual paints, so I just thought I better thicken them up. So no oil, and we're just going to pour it in. I'm just going to pour each of the colours in from up high so that they start blending and doing their magic. Straight from the word go. In we go with the aqua, and in we go with the copper, straight into the middle, just on top of the other one. You can see in there, I don't know if you can see that, but effects are already happening. Look at that. And then in with the white. There we go. And I'm just going to do like a little ring pour. You can see those paints reacting with each other already. I'm not going for rings in this pour. I'm just doing this so that the paints can sort of mix together a little bit rather than just a straight pour. It will also give a slight pretty effect. Now I think this is pretty much just all navy in the bottom. There's a little bit of other paint in there, but I think I better leave it. Look at that. Maybe I can put some on the edges here. Because there is some, look at that, there is things happening. It'd be nice to have some navy along the outside actually, rather than just in the middle. Look at that. Just poured out, and it just does that all by itself. So pretty. Right, let me just torch, because that was pretty fast. I poured it out pretty fast, so just to pop some bubbles. Now you behave, torch. I'll go slowly so he doesn't flame up. So as I said, just Floetrol and paint. I think I'll probably tip that off. It's a bit excessive over there in that corner. Right. Let's move this. Now as the paint moves and rubs against the other paint, mixes into the other paint, that's where we get our lovely little effects happening. Go over the corner there. I don't mind that bit of aqua staying. Back to the center again. I'll go off to this corner next. And you can see those effects happening. Some people call them clouds, just cells. I'm going to put a little bit of navy there. I don't mind if we have some navy on that corner. I don't mind that at all. Maybe keep some navy there. We'll see what it looks like afterwards. I can always come back and change it. I just thought a bit of dark would be nice on the corner, but it's got a big blob of white in it, so maybe not. Rightio. Isn't that amazing what you can create with just paint and Floetrol? Now this is quite interesting here. This is that extra bit of navy that I poured around the outside. I didn't realise, because when I was looking in the jug it just looked plain navy, but there was actually paint underneath the navy that it sort of sunk down to the bottom. Which is also making that really pretty effect. So I haven't, as I said, I haven't done this for, oh gee, it's got to be a year. I mean, you guys can have a look back on my old videos and you'll see it. I like that. It looks like a little pebble path there. And you'll see my other pours like this, using just the Floetrol and paint to create these effects. And that could go over. I'll just put that there for a minute, wipe that so we can see where the edge is, and then I'll have a look at it and see what I want to do, if anything. I personally don't find a painting like this all that attractive. You know, it's a bit busy. It's certainly interesting, you know, the science behind paint and these effects that happen, but I personally wouldn't hang something like that on my wall. A lot of people would. Maybe if it was on a big scale, you know, if I did a really big one like this, maybe I might think twice about it. Just give it a little torch there to pop any bubbles. And there we go. What do you think? I'll turn it around because from your side, I think the white needs to be on the top. So there you go. You can see the copper coming through. I don't know that you would call them cells as such. It's more like a, you know, cloud effect like Melly D does. Right, hope you enjoyed that. Have a go, Floetrol paint. The one I did last year, about a year ago, it is different. It didn't react as much as this. The Artist's Loft paint certainly makes it react more. But if you check out my old video from last year, you'll see what I mean. The little clouds or cells or whatever you want to call them are much smaller. These have grown hugely. You can still see a little bit of the navy in between, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked more navy. But yeah, it's this Artist's Loft paint that goes crazy and reacts. But yeah, the other one, I think I prefer the other one with my normal white global paint. So if you can't get Artist's Loft, don't worry. Use your white paint and I'm sure you'll get the same effect. Hopefully you will. It's just the paint blending with the other paints, the different densities and the Floetrol. It's just like a chemical reaction. But I'll take you down so you can have a closer look at it. And it creates these effects. So even though we started with a ring pour, I guess you can sort of see a circular pattern there from what was the rings. You could definitely just do a straight pour and just pour into the middle. And I may do that next and just see what happens. It's just a bit of shame that I lost so much of the navy, but I do like how I put some more on the outside. So maybe I'll do that again, just add some navy. I do want to try this with a couple of different colours that I've got in mind. Oops, that's a bit dark. And once it dries, the copper will come through. Can't get rid of that light. It's dark outside, so I've got the lights on in here. But there you go. What do you think? It's different, isn't it? Didn't take long to react at all. It's pretty quick. You can see it reacting in the jug. I don't know that that's focusing. You could see it reacting in the jug before I even poured the paint out. So working its magic in the cup or in the jug. Well, there you go. Have a go at this. Pop it up on the Australian Acrylic Pouring Group. I'd love to see your efforts. So yeah, no stress about losing your cells, overstretching your cells. It's supposed to be overstretched. So that's okay, isn't it? All right, I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.